What's up, everybody? Kai here with Mid-Tenn Media Blasting, video 1. Kind of just wanted to make a channel here and really just show my friends and family what I do every day, because nobody really knows what media blasting is when I tell them. Some people think it's a marketing company, some people think it's a dynamite company. What it is we're a sandblasting company, but we blast any kind of media. Whether it's crushed glass, aluminum oxide, glass bead, steel shot, walnut shell. I mean, anything that'll take a coating off, we can shoot it. So just kind of wanted to start this channel up. This video is probably going to suck. This is number 1, so this is more of just so I can learn how this GoPro works and how the editing works and stuff like that. So today we're going to be blasting I don't even know what you call it, a big steel pool tank. I don't know. It's a CNC plasma cutting tank. So it's probably 12 feet long. It's sitting on a trailer over here. I'll show you in a minute, but it's like 12 feet long, 5 feet wide. We're going to blast the inside of it. It's got some sort of coating on it that customer wants removed so he can recoat it. And I don't think he's keeping it. I think he's refurbishing it and selling it. So let me get my ducks in a row and then we'll go outside. I'll show you the tank. I'll show you the machine. We'll fire everything up. And then here pretty soon we'll get blasted on it. All right, so here's the tank. As I was saying, it's pretty big. Pretty dang solid too. But we're not touching the outside of it. What we're doing for the most part is trying to remove all this blue. That's already been flat disced and primed, so he said don't worry about that, maybe hit the seams on the welds, but all that blue, and I think there's some stuff up there. It's going to be kind of tricky, and then up under that thing might be a little tricky, but he's got a lot of it off. He said it just is real stubborn and really doesn't want to come off. Whatever coating they use, I'm not sure. If anybody has any experience with this coating, let me know what it is, because sometimes we do some recoating and I would love some really tough stuff. But anyway, here's the machine. I can do a breakdown on it later, but it's basically just a modified DB500 that you can get from Dustless Blasting down in Houston. I've taken some stuff off and kind of made it my own just based on what we do here in Nashville, Tennessee. So I don't do a lot of wet blasting, so I took the water tank off. As you can see, it's pretty heavily used. I think I'm approaching about 1,000 hours on it, so getting up there. Really no major issues with it. I've had to replace some wear parts and rebuild some of that stuff, and pretty all minor stuff. No real complaints about it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find parts just because Dustless kind of changes up their rigs every like 2 years. So other than that, no complaints. It's quiet. It does what I need it to do. Can shoot about constant 100 psi pressure. So that works for me. As far as media goes, today we're going to be using this crushed glass over here. I think this is 3070, which is, I think they consider it like a medium grit. It's pretty fine though. I could be wrong on that. This is some old bags that were given to me from a customer. So let me get set up here. I need to fire this up. It's January 3rd, so we've been out of town for Christmas and stuff, so this hasn't ran in probably week and a half, and I have not put it on a battery charger. So let me get this thing fired up and let it warm up, and then we'll get started.
pick my stuff up before we left, so gonna have to clean this mask out. It's got water, sand, and stray cat fur all in it. So
putting some of this media in here. As you can see, just goes in the pot, but kind of like table salt is what I would compare it to. So we'll get this in there. Typically it holds about 4 bags. There was already some in there, so maybe 3 bags. And then I'll get suited up and I'll start blasting, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when we get started blasting. Well, went to put the mask on and clean it, and these are packed plumb full with sand and water and whatnot. Normally I would just get sorry about the mess, I've got to clean this place out. Normally I would just put a different respirator on, but this is a full face, and since I've got to get up under that top part, I would really like to keep the full face. So I think we're gonna run up to the store, get a new one of these. Might take a little more time, but I'd rather have it than not have it and be struggling and not be able to see and blah 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 blah. So I will update you guys when we get started on the blasting. Okay, so back. New filters on. Apparently in this town we can't just buy filters, so I had to get a whole new respirator. That's part of it. It'll get used eventually. I go through these like candy. So new filters on. We are about to get started. I'm gonna try and figure out how to work this GoPro. I don't have all the mounts yet, but I'm gonna try and get it set up so you guys can actually see some of the blasting that's going on, and so you're not just staring at a guy standing in a steel tank the whole time. Had a customer pull up there, talked to him for a minute. Nice guy. So as you can see, test blast pretty good, honestly. Most of it's coming off. That looks like some old primer that they maybe put on beforehand, but shouldn't be too bad with this part. Obviously that part up there, that's gonna suck, but we'll get it the best we can. So I'm gonna set you guys down, maybe do a little time lapse, see if I can figure that out, and we'll get this thing blasted, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get done.
50 minutes. Got basically to where we started with that test blast to here. So it's taken a little bit longer than what the customer and I had talked about, so I might give him a call and just let him know. I don't like people thinking that I'm, not that they would, but I don't like to, if it takes longer than what we talk about, I always like to try and call the customers and just let them know and see how they want me to proceed, because obviously we can probably skip all of crawling under there if he wants to save some time and money. And then same thing with the up under this little lip right here. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of glue up under there anyway, so we could probably skip some of that. That'll save him probably an hour or so of blasting, which doesn't sound like much, but the hours start to add up pretty quick, especially on something like this where we're getting, I don't know, 20, 15 square feet done in an hour. So let me give him a call and we'll get back at it. Okay, well that took way longer than I had planned. Customer did say after talking to him that focus on the spots that you're gonna see, so the walls, the floor seam, and then get some of under that lip. Back there I don't really know what we're gonna do yet. May have to hit some more, but as you can see, guy made a mess. So this is probably, I don't know, 200, 300 pounds of sand that we're gonna scoop out of here with a shovel and a shop vac. And then after that, we'll reevaluate that back part back there, because it's just blowing sand around and I can't see anything. And so we're gonna clean up real quick and then maybe do a little bit more blasting back there, but that's pretty much it. I'll show you what it looks like when I get it cleaned up. Alright, so got it cleaned out. I'm trying to get a better look now of what we're dealing with. So walls are looking pretty good, and then that seam we got blasted. Next challenge is gonna be, I guess, I can't get in there and get all that. It's not gonna be feasible, just with the way the nozzle and the hose is set up like we thought we were going to be able to. So I think what I'm going to do is try and catch it right at that line, just so it looks a little better, and then see how much of that floor I'm going to be able to get. Whatever I can't get, he's going to come back and get by hand. This was just to save him some time, because obviously it's taken me, well, I'm at 2 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. So to do this by hand would take quite a while. So I'm gonna reload the pot, and then I'm just gonna do the best I can to catch that line. That way everything that you can see when he recoats it will be that uniform surface, because you probably can't tell on camera, but there is a difference in the surface of what's been done already versus that blue teal stuff. So let me get this pot refilled, get this done, and then I'll have to do a final cleanup, and this thing will be back to the owner and get a fresh coat of epoxy on it. Alright, well, sometimes the plan isn't the right plan, and this was one of those times. I don't know if maybe because up there It's kind of hard to see on camera now, but I don't know if maybe because this up here didn't get as much attention when it was being used, it just doesn't come off. So for me to get in here and really do anything would take forever. And sometimes the projects don't have the budget that they need to get it all done. So that it's just going to be what it is up there. Maybe he can feather it with a flat disc and blend it in a little better, and we'll let him do that. But the rest of it turned out pretty good. There's probably some specks of stuff you can see like in the welds down here. But I don't know what the deal is with these welds, but it just won't all come out. But I would say overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. I hope he is too. But yeah, I got it all cleaned out. That is going to be a wrap on this one. So, like I said, this will go off and get recoated and reused and continue life as a plasma table CNC thing. Redoing that outro because I rambled and talked about stuff that doesn't matter on video. So now that that's done, let me get it edited. I'm still learning here, so it might take me a minute to get it edited, but that's next. It's a 70s-ish CJ5, so basically there's a bunch of parts over there that we're going to blast, and then got the tub propped up over here so we can get the bottom of it. So that'll be the next video, or who knows, it might even be before this one comes out if this one turns out to be crap. But that's it. So thanks for watching. If you've got any suggestions on how to make these any better, I'm open to it. Like I said, this is my first one, so I don't know how the editing is going to go. I don't even know if you can hear me. We will figure it out though, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.